What's up, guys? John Conley here, UncleJohnSoap.com. Yup, did it again. Messed up my video schedule, but hey, here I am. Better late than never, I guess. Been away for about just a little over a week. Had to make a little trip down south and take care of some stuff down there, help a family member out. So got a little chance to have some R&R while I was on the road and feeling a little bit more refreshed now. Hate being back in this cold weather, although it wasn't all that warm down there, so at least it didn't rain the whole time I was gone like usual. Anyway, figured I'd pop on and get back on the horse here and do another video. Gonna try to keep it short, but you know how I like to run my mouth, so got a new toy. So I want to try to show you this. It's a little weird. Bear with me. Oh yeah, as you know, we make laundry soap. That's what started our whole business, was laundry soap. Making laundry soap for my wife was the start of the whole inception of any of this. And when I make laundry soap, when I only made a couple batches here and there, or a batch for just us at home, I would use a cheese grater. You know, a little. We had a box one, and then we had a flat one, but use the real fine part. And oh, what a pain in my butt! You know, for one or two batches, it ain't bad, but if you're doing any kind of production or making huge batches, I got something to show you. So normally, like I said, one or two batches use the box grater. I don't have one here to show you, but you know what they are. Or a flat plate grater, but cheese grater. Grating cheese for your dinner. The other thing you would use, I like to use a food processor, not for grating the soap because it moves too fast and it makes the soap gummy and it gets all weird and it just doesn't work well for me. But I would rough chop each bar of soap with a regular kitchen knife. Just a regular, you know, keep the edge sharp, and it works just fine for cutting soap. But it's still labor intensive. It's a pain in my butt, and I don't want to do it. So then we come to this baby. So a buddy of mine, he's got some of the weirdest stuff I've ever seen, and it's cool because there's stuff that I tend to be able to use. He brings it up at just the right time. He stopped by the shop one day after describing this to me, and he said he had something that he thought would grate my soap really well. I said, all right, whatever. You know, one day he showed up with it. This is a vintage salad maker. You gotta see it. So anyway, so you can see it has this cone-shaped blade, and it has all these little serrations in it. Now it's a slot with serrations, but it makes soap, it grates soap like this. It's fantastic. And I got one in the original box. It's the Wherever brand salad maker. See that? In the original box. I want to say this is from the 50s. Sometime around there. Got the original paperwork with it. It explains how to work everything, although I knew because my buddy stopped by with his that he bought, and he showed me how it worked. And I wanted to buy the exact one he had because it worked so well. You know, here's the chute. It all comes apart for cleaning. Now, I will say, let me get the part. Originally, this would have been a suction cup on the bottom under here where this silver plate is. And there's a lever that goes here that you would have put this on your smooth countertop or table, flip the lever down to pull the suction cup up and suction it to your table so it's easier to use. Well, this is original. It's dry rotted. It's not going to stick to anything. But my buddy, for his, made a brand new suction cup out of regular old silicone. He used white tub and tile, 100% silicone. He used something like a coffee can lid or a margarine lid or something, and took that mechanism and sat it in the new silicone, let it cure up. and it works perfectly. I used it. I have a little piece of granite in here that I can suction it to, but it's not done yet, and I wanted to be able to use this. So what I did was I took the mechanism out of here and the suction cup off the bottom, and I just, by hand, you don't want to over crank these, I put a screw through here into my counter. This is a workbench. It doesn't bother me to have a couple little holes in it. So I screwed it down so that it's in place, not going to move. So yeah, once this is attached to the counter, you see it has these little grooves here where this locks in. Yeah, I'm trying to show you, but it takes two hands to put this thing together, so hopefully you get the idea. This slides on there and it locks in. In order to unlock it, you have this little toggle here, which allows it to release. So that's hooked up, and it's a spin, you know. So in order to have that, make this cone lock into this gear here, you hold this button down and you turn your handle. You see how I did that with my other hands? Watch what happens to the gear on here. When I hold this button, see how only part of it moved once it went into the groove? Then I line this up with those little hooks, and I don't have to turn this. What I do is I just release everything. Now it's all locked in. And then you just turn it. So, put a bowl under it. Just so happen to have a bar of soap. Stick it in there. It won't really stay on its own. You kind of have to use your hands. That's why it's good to have this bolted down or suction cup down if you make a new suction cup. I keep a couple of my fingers on top and just use a couple for light pressure. And then when it gets close to the end, now we have a little sliver like this. I just turn it over. Sorry, I had a hiccup in the video, so I started to show you this little sliver here. Now normally it's no big deal. I would leave it in there the shape of the cone. Take my next bar. I would do a full batch of this Castile soap at one time and just keep grinding and filling a bucket. When you get to the last bar is when you kind of got to fiddle with this a little bit, or you could throw it in the bucket, and next time you go to grind some up, you just throw this in on top. But when you push your next bar down, it'll push this piece in. You just gotta watch your fingers like any other tool. I can get it pretty darn close without grinding my finger, and it's probably not worth messing with. Like I said, probably throw that last little bit in the bucket and just use it next time I throw a batch in here. But yeah, I mean, you saw how fast that grated one bar of soap. And these cool little soap shreds, soap noodles. So now I can put them in my food processor. Let me come back up to you. Anyway, so now I can put them in my food processor with the borax, washing soda, and whatever else I want to add. And it will take way less effort to chop this up. So normally, you got to run the food processor for a minute and a half to make sure all those little chunks of soap get ground up fine enough, because there's nothing worse than having soap build up in your wash because it doesn't dissolve right, or it's just, you get little pieces in there that won't dissolve. So this here will grind up in your food processor so easily, and it's fast. So I can take 24 full bars like I just did, grind them up in a few minutes, and just have it done. That will give me 48 of our 2-pound bags of laundry soap. So, I mean, I can grind this up in no time. I'm still going to use the food processor because that does a couple things. One, it disperses the soap through the powders fairly evenly, at least better than I could do by hand. And also the scent, the fragrances and essential oils that I put in. I'm playing with the soap. I love the feel of these little soap noodles. Anyway, when I put the fragrance in, the soap in, and the 2 powders, the food processor kind of really gets everything homogenized, for lack of a better term. It gets all mixed up fairly evenly. So, and that's what I want. It helps with a little bit of consistency. I mean, nothing's perfect. It's not like commercial laundry detergents where,
I have very specialized machines, although this is a special machine, just not the same. So sometimes going vintage is the way to go, guys. So if you're looking for one of these, there are so many different kinds available online. If you go on eBay and search vintage food processor, vintage salad maker, that's the one that got me this one, which is what my buddy showed me. Easy to clean, it's sturdy. So this is aluminum, the base is aluminum. This feels like it might be aluminum too. The gears are steel. This could be some kind of stamped lightweight steel, white metal. I don't think it's aluminum though, the way it sounds. But it's real sturdy. I mean, this thing is stout, and I wouldn't be afraid to use it. I don't think I would ever break this unless I like totally dropped it on the floor or tried to shove something through there that shouldn't go through there. So if you're looking for this one specifically, I think I paid $48 shipped. It's expensive up front a little bit, but it's worth it. I mean, that's going to save me so much time, and you know, I'm not getting any younger. My hand with that knife chopping through hard soap, what a pain in my butt. You know, this is so much nicer. So anyway, you can look for the brand wherever. Salad maker. You know, a couple other keywords. The aluminum cooking utensil company. You can look for things like that. Look, here's the original bill of lading when they sent it. It's crazy. Some little lady in York, PA ordered this originally, and I think it cost like 49 cents to ship. It's weird. Postage was 49 cents, COD fee was 40 cents, so less than $1, but hey, try shipping something for $1 now. Anyway, so for those of you who do make a lot of laundry soap, you know, if you're only making a pound or two total batch, it may not be worth it to you to do this. Although, I'm also a firm believer in having things that are multi-use in my life, not just one use. So I will find other uses for this. If I was making soap at home still, I would use this for cutting up veggies and stuff. I'm grating up a bar of soap. When I wash it, it's going to be clean. So therefore it won't hurt the food. And I'm not opposed to using vintage equipment for food as long as I clean it. So think on that for a minute. I mean, I've ground my own meat before with a vintage meat grinder that clamps to the edge of the countertop, and it works great. I even have a sausage stuffer attachment for it, and you know, so multi-use tools. I like that. So anyway, I've blathered on enough. Like I said, I just took a 2-minute thing and turned it into however long. Anyway, I'll try to shorten it up some when I edit it for uploading. So, all right, guys, if you enjoyed this content, enjoyed hearing me run my mouth forever, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and click that little bell icon so you don't miss the fat guy with the beard making soap. See ya.